Part 88. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 873. Qin Feng was suspended in the air, standing against the wind. All the enemies that he thought were impossible were killed by him. The deputy patriarch of the Kongxian clan in front of him would not have any surprises. Kongxia, the deputy patriarch of the Kongxian clan, was very shocked. The bronze war spear in his hand was a weapon of the heavenly fairy grade, and its power was extremely strong. But who would have thought that under the punch of Qin Feng, the blade was actually broken? This scene was too against the sky. Qin Feng really doesn't know where you get the courage to be so arrogant in front of my Kongxian clan. Kongxia calmed down his mood, his face was full of coldness, and his combat effectiveness in the magic bird field increased by dozens of times. More importantly, the war spear in his hand was extraordinary, made of fairy gold, and it could be revived in an instant even if it was destroyed. Buzz. As Kongxia's voice fell, the bronze spear that was destroyed by Qin Feng's punch just now actually gathered together. With a burst of brilliant light, the bronze spear flowed with enchanting light and became intact. Kill. Kongxia's murderous aura soared. Under the blessing of the magic bird domain, he held the bronze spear and launched a peerless attack. In the domain of the magic bird peacock, Kongxia's speed was too fast. He seemed to be able to cross the void. His figure flashed in the field and turned into a series of residual images. Nearby, countless cultivators of the Kongxian clan looked at the figure of their deputy clan leader, and they were all excited. Under the leadership of the clan leader, their fighting spirit soared, an endless murderous aura gathered, and their power became more and more fierce. A trifle. Qin Feng was suspended in the air, looking at the flashing figure of the deputy clan leader of the Kongxian clan, and a cold arc appeared at the corner of his mouth. For Qin Feng, the Kongxian clan was just like a monkey. Their performance in front of him was actually not good enough. In Qin Feng's view, in the face of absolute strength, any means and moves were useless. Die. At this moment, Kongxia, the deputy clan leader of the Kongxian clan, burst out with endless power, and all the sound and shadows gathered together to form an extremely dazzling killing style. This move broke through the space, carrying an unfathomable might, which was invincible. The might that burst out, under the blessing of the peacock domain, was extremely terrifying. Holy Sun, be careful. Holy Sun, don't be careless. Many cultivators in the distant Suzaku Holy Land all exclaimed, with worries written all over their faces. Qin Feng is the Holy Sun of their Suzaku Holy Land. His qualifications have surpassed the general foundation. If he dies, the consequences for them will be disastrous. Some elders nearby also flew over and wanted to help Qin Feng, but it was a pity that they were too far away and could not help at all. Go to hell. The face of Kongxia, the deputy patriarch of the Kongxian clan, was full of confidence. He used his strongest move. Under the blessing of the magic bird peacock's domain, dozens of times the energy was superimposed, and it was extremely powerful. In his opinion, let alone Qin Feng had a stone axe in his hand, even if he had 10, he would be killed in an instant. In a flash, the bronze spear instantly stabbed in front of Qin Feng, and the murderous aura was released, filling the world with a murderous aura. You are seeking your own death. Qin Feng was fearless. The moment the bronze spear stabbed over, he swung the Kaishan stone axe in his hand and slashed directly forward. Kaka. With a loud noise, the bronze spear was directly cut off by Qin Feng's Kaishan stone axe, and then even the power on it was directly shattered and disappeared by the Kaishan stone axe. This scene made Kongxia, the deputy patriarch of the Kongxian clan, look dazed. He was horrified to death. He really couldn't believe that the immortal weapon would be so vulnerable. You know, the spear in his hand is of the immortal grade, and it is difficult to find a few in the entire Dongzhou. However, it just collapsed, which made his face change drastically, and the horror in his heart can be imagined. Because, at this time, the bronze war spear was truly collapsed, unlike the one that Qin Feng interrupted just now. This Kaishan stone axe not only collapsed it, but also instantly absorbed the divinity contained in its immortal gold, turning it into scrap iron. This scene was a fatal blow to Kong Xie. The war spear that he had cultivated with his life collapsed in his domain, which made him extremely angry and spit out a mouthful of blood. At this time, Kong Xie did not hesitate at all. He knew that if he didn't leave now, he would be finished. At the first time, he stepped forward and retreated to the back. "Can you get away?" Qin Feng saw that Kong Xie actually wanted to escape. He sneered and swung the Kaishan stone axe in his hand. In just a moment, the Kaishan stone axe expanded a huge axe blade, smashing Kong Xie on the spot, and turned into blood mist in the void. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully using the Star Gold scratch card and obtaining 100 sniper howitzers and 800 shells. After Kong Xie died, Qin Feng scratched out some more sniper howitzers, which made his face sparkle with joy. He was very distressed that several of them were destroyed just now, and now the system has rewarded some more, which made him feel very happy. The clan leader is dead. How is this possible? At this moment, all the cultivators of the Kongxian clan were stunned. The deputy clan leader was defeated and killed under the blessing of the strongest field, which made them feel anxious all day long. Originally, the fighting spirit that was still vigorous also faded in an instant, and countless Kongxian clan masters all had the intention to retreat. As Qin Feng stepped forward, he saw thousands of Kongxian clan monks thinking about retreating dozens of meters behind. This scene was extremely shocking and horrified in the eyes of the two holy places in the distance. Qin Feng rode a dragon horse, like a god, and forced back thousands of Kongxian clan monks. This scene was really shocking. This made the monks of the two holy places soar in fighting spirit for a while, and their momentum rose steadily. With the rise and fall of one side, the battle situation showed a one-sided posture. Swish! Qin Feng thought about it and flew into the air from the back of the dragon horse. With a wave of his hand, countless sniper howitzers appeared on the back of the dragon horse. Then, the dragon horse crossed the void, and at Qin Feng's signal, it distributed all of them to the monks of the two holy places in the distance. Boom boom boom. The masters of the two holy places, as practitioners, are naturally very good at using such magic weapons. After the first shell was fired, they became more and more proficient. The two holy places began to bombard the core area from a distance. In a blink of an eye, a large number of powerful princes fell on the spot. At the same time, some great kings were also affected. Because they could not dodge in time, their runes were destroyed and they were seriously injured. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 874. In the two holy places where Qin Feng was, all the masters were full of vigor under his leadership, controlling the rhythm of the field. After a brief panic, many strong men of the Kongxian clan calmed down under the leadership of the elders. They were able to become cultivators of the Kongxian clan, so they naturally had a strong mentality. Their cultivation was above the 6th level of the vassal realm. And those elders who led the way had reached the realm of the king, and they were all the elite of the Kongxian clan. Brothers, kill, avenge the clan leader. This man is the greatest enemy of our Kongxian clan, and we must not let him go. The strong men of the Kongxian clan, led by the elders, all roared indignantly. As the elite of the Kongxian clan, although they lost the leadership of the clan leader, they did not give up. As for some other cultivators who originally wanted to retreat, they also stayed in the field under the influence of the elders and many other strong men. Thousands of Kongxian clan monks roared and rushed towards Qin Feng, emitting powerful divine power fluctuations around them, and countless magic weapons came to Qin Feng. Qin Feng was in mid-air, with a brilliant smile on his face. he was originally worried that the monks of the Kongshian clan would flee because of the death of the clan leader. At this moment, these people took the initiative to rush towards him, just saving him from chasing. Crack! In just a moment, Qin Feng raised his hand and swung the Kaishan stone axe. The Kaishan stone axe released a series of terrifying sharp edges, cutting through the void, and endless murderous aura bloomed, with endless power. The Kaishan stone axe is itself a divine weapon. The sharp edges flowing out of it are earth-shaking, and the destructive power is released, destroying the weapons of the Kongshian clan monks. And the endless sharp edges continued to move forward, slashing among the Kongshian clan monks, and countless monks fell on the spot and died completely. At this moment, Qin Feng was like a killing god. He swung the stone axe of the sky and harvested the lives of the monks of the Kongshian clan. Many monks of the Kongshian clan could no longer bear it, and the elders took the lead to retreat and flee into the distance. This triggered a fuse, and the other monks did not dare to stay for long. They all flew into the air and fled into the distance. In a moment, the Kongshian clan left behind most of the monks' bodies, and the rest disappeared here like birds and beasts, and they didn't care about coming to unite with the killer dynasty. The monks of the Void clan fled, and Qin Feng picked up dozens of cards in the Void. Killing such a large number of monks allowed him to obtain dozens of diamond and star gold scratch cards. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully using the star gold scratch card and obtaining the 7th grade immortal gold for refining materials. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully using the star gold scratch card and obtaining 120,000 super god cultivating pills. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully using the star gold scratch card and obtaining the immortal medicine True Dragon Medicine. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully using the diamond scratch card and obtaining 18 holy medicines. The system's prompt sounds rang out one after another, and dozens of scratch cards were exposed, which made Qin Feng's harvest quite rich. Qin Feng alone stopped all the cultivators of the Kongshian clan and defeated them all. This scene was simply terrifying. In the distance, the action to extinguish the killer dynasty was still going on. Large areas of palaces were destroyed under the leadership of the two holy places, and countless killers were killed. In the field, there were still some cultivators with high cultivation who were struggling to support, but Qin Feng and his team had a large number of people, and it was only a matter of time before they were defeated. Later, only a few dozen great kings were left alive in the killer dynasty. Cultivators like kings are extremely terrifying. They can regenerate broken limbs and recover directly even if they are fatally injured. It is indeed difficult to kill them. After all, not everyone has the extremely terrifying fairy fire like Qin Feng, which can refine king-level cultivators. Swish, swish. At this moment, Qin Feng's whole body burst into brilliant light. He jumped onto the back of the dragon horse and began to chase the great kings in the sky above the killer dynasty. An hour later, Qin Feng killed all the great kings here. When the last great king was killed by Qin Feng, the light of the Kaishan stone axe dimmed and disappeared directly from his hand. At this time, the Kaishan stone axe had reached the cooling period. If you want to use it again, it can only be 3 days later. At this time, the battle was nearing its end. Except for a small part of the killer dynasty that escaped, the killer dynasty was almost completely destroyed. The remaining people could only live in fear and never dare to commit murder again. Moreover, a killer without a foundation could not make any waves and could only keep his tail between his legs. The battle was coming to an end, and the strong men from the two holy places began to collect the spoils and capture the fugitives. Countless weapons, magic weapons, and resources were looted and piled up in front of the palace, flowing with a misty momentum. These magic weapons were like a small mountain, containing terrifying life essence, which could quickly create a big force and make it enter the top ranks. These resources, as agreed before, were divided into 2 parts and obtained by the two holy places, which was also a very large fortune. However, at this time, The elders of the Qin clan Holy Land and the elders of the Suzaku Holy Land gathered beside Qin Feng, and they were all discussing. Something is wrong with the Lord Saint. These resources are not suitable. That's true. The Assassin dynasty's accumulation over tens of thousands of years cannot be limited to this small amount of natural resources and earthly treasures. This amount of natural resources and earthly treasures is less than one level of the ancient Holy Land. How could the Killer dynasty be so poor? Yes, the Killer God dynasty has been in existence for tens of thousands of years and has ambushed countless major trends, and its resources are definitely more than these. The deputy holy masters and elders of the two holy places all have great vision. They know how amazing the resource treasure house of the ancient Holy Land is. The treasures found here are not even worthy of carrying shoes for the ancient Holy Land, so how can they be enough to support an organization as large as the Killer God dynasty? That's right, the palace master of the Assassin dynasty didn't show up either. Qin Feng nodded. He was sure that this was the headquarters of the Assassin dynasty, but the resources here were far from adequate. More importantly, the palace master of the Assassin dynasty did not appear either, which was inconsistent with common sense. In the face of such a crisis of genocide, the palace master of the Killer dynasty did not show up to stop him. No matter how much he thought about it, he thought it was impossible. Look carefully to see if there are any missing secrets. Qin Feng issued the order. He believed that there must be a secret treasure near the headquarters. And that is the key point, that is, the Killer dynasty, where the real headquarters resources are located. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 875. As expected by Qin Feng, not long after, the formation masters of the two holy places found a powerful restriction at the bottom of a lake. The restriction was extremely terrifying. It was extremely difficult for the strong men in the general vassal realm to break it, let alone approach it. The formation masters of the two holy places were also seriously injured when they were breaking the formation, and they had not yet broken the restriction of the secret realm. Soon, Qin Feng brought everyone to the edge of this big lake. This place is several thousand meters away from the headquarters of the Killer Divine Dynasty. The lake water has been separated by the magic power of the masters of the two holy places. In that direction, a huge stone tablet appeared, with a portal engraved on it, and runes were blessed. Once ordinary cultivators approached, they would be injured by the runes on it. No wonder the formation master couldn't break it at all. Qin Feng's eyes were bright. He stared at the lines flowing on the portal, and took a breath in his heart. This restricted portal was far more amazing than he had imagined. The runes engraved on it could kill ordinary great kings. The restriction of this portal seems to be beyond the knowledge of Dongzhou, and it is very likely to surpass the great accomplishment king. It is the means of the Holy Spirit. At that time, the old Holy Lord beside Qin Feng said solemnly. As the old Holy Lord of the Suzaku Holy Land, she was naturally knowledgeable and knew some things that people did not know. What is the realm of the Holy Spirit in the rumors? The elders of the two holy lands in the field all took a breath of cold air. Such means are actually the realm above the king in the rumors. The entire Dongzhou is extinct. Because the laws of heaven and earth in Dongzhou do not allow strong people above the great accomplishment king to exist. Once the cultivation breaks through the great accomplishment king, they either go to a higher level of the state or enter the secret realm to seal themselves. There is no way. The laws of heaven and earth in Dongzhou do not allow such a powerful person who can destroy the world to exist, because that will cause the land of Dongzhou to suffer unimaginable destruction. Once a strong person of that level gets angry, it will easily cause the collapse of the continent and the death of tens of millions of lives. This is why it is difficult to see strong people above the great king in the entire Dongzhou. Similarly, because of the laws of heaven and earth, the strong people from other Shenzhous in the ancient road cannot invade the land of Dongzhou. Because once they cross the border, their own cultivation will be suppressed, and they may be killed by the king of Dongzhou and fall here. Countless years ago, Dongzhou had experienced many major events where strong people crossed the border. Such scenes have greatly impacted the land of Dongzhou, but countless holy places in Dongzhou have risen up to attack. They united to kill all the invading strong people here. That incident shook the 9 heavens and 10 earths and became a major event in the legend of all races. The strong people of high realms were slaughtered by the cultivators of low realms. This incident became a laughing stock in other Shenzhous for a while. Similarly, the strong people in Shenzhou also saw the disadvantages. The conquest of Dongzhou brought them only disadvantages and no benefits. The spiritual energy of the heaven and earth in Dongzhou is not as abundant as that in Suankanghu, so in the end, all those strong people gave up. But now, in the lake of the headquarters of the Killer God dynasty, such a secret realm with the mark of the Holy Spirit was actually discovered. How could this not make everyone present gasp? Could it be that the Killer God dynasty has a strong man of the Holy Spirit level? Impossible, the lines on it are very old, and should not belong to the present. The masters of the 2 holy places whispered that if the Killer God dynasty really has the Holy Spirit, it would be too terrifying. However, the other party did not come out to help at such a critical moment when the headquarters was breached, and it was obvious that there was no Holy Spirit level master. Even if there is a Holy Spirit level master, the power used in this world can only reach the realm of the Great King, which is not to be feared. Qin Feng pondered for a while, and then continued, "This matter may not be as simple as imagined." After Qin Feng finished speaking, he took out a token from his arms, which was exactly the token he took from the chief guard of the suspended Great Shang God Kingdom. At that time, he obtained this token after beheading the chief guard. The pattern on the token at this moment is roughly the same as the pattern on the mirror in front. The Killer Divine Dynasty is likely related to the great forces of Xiankong State. Qin Feng's eyes were cold. If the Killer Divine Dynasty was really related to the forces of Xiankong State, it would take a long time to plan. In the past, some of the holy masters who destroyed the great holy spirits of Xiankong State were assassinated by the Killer Divine Dynasty and could not enjoy their old age. Is this Killer Divine Dynasty really supported by the forces of Xiankong State? The countless masters of the 2 holy places all took a breath of cold air. If this was true, they would understand why the Killer Divine Dynasty would be passed down in the territory of Dongzhou for 10,000 years. Only with the support of the forces of Xiankong State, the Killer Divine Dynasty would be so terrible. So, after the destruction of several great holy spirits in Xiankong State, some people were unwilling to accept it, so they supported the Killer Divine Dynasty and assassinated those strong men. The masters of the 2 holy lands present analyzed, and the more they analyzed, the more shocked they were. This scene was beyond their cognition. No matter what happened, you will know when you open this secret realm. All of you retreat. Qin Feng waved his hand and asked the cultivators on both sides to retreat. He came to the front of the gate. At this time, Qin Feng's attainments in formations had already surpassed those of ordinary formation kings. The restrictions in front of him were not difficult for him. It only took some time. Qin Feng surrounded the restriction with one array stone after another. After an incense stick, he stirred up the vitality of heaven and earth, used the power of the universe, and turned the world around. Boom! The world was trembling, and in an instant, colorful lights bloomed between heaven and earth. And accompanied by countless killing sword chi, rushing in all directions, countless cultivators retreated again and again, and they were cold all over. Qin Feng, who was at the front, did not move the God King's cover. Countless sword chi collided with him, making a clanging sound, but failed to break his defense under the blessing of the 9 bands. Ding! Congratulations to the host array method, promoted to the array method saint. At this time, the system's prompt sound rang, and after gently breaking the array restriction, his array method advanced again, and directly became a array saint. Swish. Qin Feng's mind moved, and in front of him, several array stones were arranged, and then turned into a strong qi shield, instantly blocking all the sword attacks. The next moment, Qin Feng pointed his index finger, and beams of light flew out from his fingertips and hit the forbidden stone tablet in front of him. Crack! In the blink of an eye, the forbidden runes on the stone tablet were completely disintegrated by Qin Feng, and a portal was directly opened. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbspeed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 876. As the portal was opened, dozens of killing swords appeared in an instant, flowing with blazing light, and assassinated Qin Feng, full of world-shattering murderous intent. Qin Feng had already expected it. He thought in an instant, and the formation stone was in front of him, flowing out 10 layers of defense. The killing sword collided with the tenfold killing defense, and they were all separated. Then Qin Feng stepped on the Big Thunder technique and disappeared directly into the secret realm. Puff, puff, puff. Qin Feng raised his sword and lowered it. He used the Six Paths Immortal Sword and used the Golden Immortal Martial Arts to break into the killer's secret realm. In just a moment, the dozen killers who stopped here were completely killed by Qin Feng and died. After killing dozens of killers, Qin Feng discovered rows of formation stones here. These killers were the formation masters who completely activated this formation. But it's a pity that their fighting ability is not good, and they can only hide their hatred on the spot after meeting Qin Feng. Come in. After confirming that there was not much danger in the secret realm portal, Qin Feng summoned many masters from the 2 holy places into the secret realm. This is a small world in which amazing spiritual power flows, many precious medicines are planted, and countless palaces are planted. Just as Qin Feng and the others guessed, this is where the secret treasure of the killer dynasty is located. When many monks came in, they immediately felt countless extraordinary auras here. These auras not only possess murderous intent, but some also possess astonishing images, which are treasures of genius. As a group of monks walked forward, a sword light flew from the end of the world. The sword light swept across the sky and chopped several or 4 Holy Land monks into pulp on the spot. This scene shocked Qin Feng and the masters of the 2 holy places. They stared cautiously at the sword light in front of them and stopped others who entered. In this secret realm, there are terrifying enemies that are hard to fathom. Although his cultivation level has not surpassed that of the Dachan king, Yuan yet is far beyond what ordinary monks can deal with. Dong dong dong. At this time, there was a slight tremor at the end of the world, and then a middle-aged man, wearing a battle armor, walked step by step. An incomprehensible terror and intimidation flowed from his body, and runes swept across all directions, creating a great sense of oppression. Some of the low-level monks present could not bear the odds and fell to their knees. Miscellaneous. Immediately, the accomplished kings of several major holy lands, with kingly runes engraved on their bodies, stopped the disciples from the holy lands they had brought. Finally, the disciples felt better. They stared at the figure that appeared in front of them, their eyes full of fear. Boy, was it you who sent people to destroy my assassin dynasty? Demon sect, the master of the assassin dynasty, has murderous intent in his eyes. He is holding a fairy sword and has a murderous intent all over his body. Yes, it's me. Qin Feng let out a soft cry. He was holding the Six Paths Immortal Sword and standing at the front. His whole body was shrouded in the immovable God King's light shield, and he had the power to swallow up all the wastelands. You are all going to die. The palace master of the killer dynasty let out a long roar, and he came to Qin Feng in the blink of an eye. The killing sword in his hand slashed towards Qin Feng. Dang glang glang. Qin Feng raised his hand to stop him. Terrible energy flowed around him. The thick sword light crossed the sky and destroyed his sword light directly into the heaven and earth. This was a scene that was truly unimaginable. The first collision between the two caused the overflowing light waves to radiate in all directions, causing countless vegetation in the distance to instantly collapse into ruins. Hey, it's really interesting. The sinister voice of the demon sect, the master of the assassin dynasty, rang out, and Qin Feng, the eighth heavenly lord, blocked his powerful attack, which surprised him quite a bit. Ninth grade king. Qin Feng's eyes were cold, his black hair was dancing wildly, and extremely bright divine energy flowed around him. Yes, I am a ninth grade king, but because in this world, I can only have the power of the ninth grade. The voice of the killer god Chao Palace Master Demon Sect spread, and a cold killing intent swept through the surrounding areas. This feeling made everyone present feel horrified. Hiss. Countless monks in the distance all gasped. The killer god's words to the palace master undoubtedly confirmed that he had reached the realm of the Holy Spirit. If it weren't for the laws of heaven and earth here, which only allow the strong ones under the Holy Spirit to exist, the fighting power displayed by the opponent would probably be even stronger. This also confirms the fact that the killer dynasty was indeed cultivated by the powerful forces of Xiankong state. The tens of thousands of years of accumulation of our clan have all been burned to the ground by you today. Boy, I will pronounce this sentence again, and you will never be reincarnated. The demon sect's words sounded eerily. The killer dynasty was destroyed by Qin Feng, which really made him quite angry. You must know that the resources accumulated by the killer dynasty over tens of thousands of years are extremely terrifying and are simply a cash cow. Their sect provided a large amount of resources for the previous term, but now it was destroyed by Qin Feng. This made them lose an income. How could they not be shocked and angry? Under the Holy Spirit, they are all ants to me. Qin Feng's eyes were extremely cold, and the Fudo God King shrouded his body, making his powerful momentum cover the sky. At this moment, Qin Feng's whole body was emitting blazing light, as if he was the only one in this secret realm. He clearly only has the 8th level of the princes, but the power he displays makes people feel a kind of terrifying ability. Hey, what a terrifying technique and what a magical weapon. At this moment, even though he was the palace master of the killer divine dynasty, the demon sect also felt an unfathomable momentum, which surprised him very much. The opponent was obviously only at the 8th level of the vassal realm, but the momentum flowing out at this moment, under the blessing of many aspects such as skills and weapons, actually possessed the ultimate divine power in the realm of kings and princes. Such a talent with outstanding qualifications, even in the hanging state, is an extremely heaven-defying existence. What a pity. At this moment, the demon sect also showed a look of true admiration. The opponent was so young, and in this field, it was rare to have such combat power in ancient and modern times. But Qin Feng would not be used by them at all, so such a young strong man could only be strangled in the bud. No need to say more, fight. Qin Feng was still fearless. The energy blessing of his 200-fold critical strike stone made him stand at the strongest peak. Holy Sun, let's help. Holy Sun, let's help. At this moment, the old Holy Lord and others of the Suzaku Holy Land sent a message that they wanted to help Qin Feng. Because even they felt that the man in front was difficult to deal with, and they were afraid that Qin Feng would die here. It doesn't matter, this man can't kill me. There are many killers in this secret realm. We can't let this one person stop our many combat forces. Qin Feng directly refused. If this man in front of him stopped their dozens of combat forces, the rest of the cultivators would be in great danger. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fa Shi. Chapter 877. Chi. The sword energy broke through the sky, and the demon sex sword light covered the sky and blocked out the sun, flowing out of endless killing energy and sweeping over. Qin Feng's eyes narrowed, and the power of the assassin in front of him was extremely astonishing. The other party's mere cultivation shows the strength of a ninth-grade king. If it weren't for the suppression of the laws of heaven and earth in the secret realm, the other party's power would be even greater. Boy, you are too confident. The demon sect, the master of the assassin dynasty, roared, and his voice spread out, shaking the entire secret world. The astonishing murderous intent around him turned into substance, condensed into several long swords, and its own power soared into the sky, piercing Qin Feng. It was extremely shocking. After seeing this scene, the masters of the two holy places were all trembling. The power of the Holy Spirit realm was too powerful. Although he suppressed his cultivation to the level of the ninth-grade king, the ninth-grade king is already the top existence in the world of Dongzhou, surpassing Qin Feng by more than a dozen minor realms. The demon sect's body exuded an unmatched aura, which made some low-level monks want to worship him, and their hearts were shaken. Qin Feng held the six-path sword and slashed forward. His eyes were cold and filled with endless killing intent. Crack! There was a loud noise between heaven and earth, and the sound of weapons breaking. The actual killing sword transformed from the murderous intention of the demon sect directly shattered on the spot under the power of the fairy sword. Qin Feng's power was so powerful that it was extraordinary for him to easily destroy the killing sword that could kill the king. Boy, you are indeed worthy of my help. I will let you be buried with me today. Moreover, I will take your people to the hanging state to be enslaved and let them perish forever. The demon sect let out a loud roar. He had just weighed Qin Feng's methods. Qin Feng's performance exceeded his expectations. He believed that the other party was indeed qualified to let him take action. Father, let me come. At this time, from the depths of the secret realm, two divine rainbows flew over, and then two young people came to the field. They are none other than the divine sons and goddesses of the Assassin dynasty. When the headquarters of the Assassin dynasty was destroyed, they happened to be attending the Tianjiao festival in Xiankong State. Unexpectedly, after using the passage in the secret realm to get down, they found a young man fighting against their adoptive father. This moment made him fight. Interest soared. In the past few days, the news that the two holy places wanted to destroy the killer dynasty has long spread. In his opinion, the fact that these monks were able to find the secret realm meant that the situation of the killer dynasty was probably not good. As the number one son of God at the headquarters of the Assassin dynasty, he is so powerful that even some of the geniuses in the Xiankong state cannot compare with him. When the powerful men from the two holy places attacked the headquarters of the Killer God dynasty, the Killer God dynasty had already collected the living forces into the secret realm. This secret realm is dormant with the immortal seedlings of the divine dynasty, and is the hope for the future of the Killer dynasty. As long as these people exist, their killer dynasty will not be exterminated and can rise again. And the Son of God, Moyi, is the Son of God among the sons of God. The goddess beside him is the pearl of the ancient clan behind him, and is his Taoist companion. As the outstanding sons of the Assassin dynasty, the two are the geniuses that the Assassin dynasty has carefully cultivated over the years, and they are also the next successors of the Assassin dynasty. Moyi is extremely powerful, otherwise he would not have been favored by the forces in the upper world and promised Mingzhu as a Taoist companion. Okay, just be careful. Mozone thought for a while and agreed. His adopted son was very unusual, and he also wanted to use Qin Feng to sharpen his adopted son. After all, after considering Qin Feng's methods just now, he believed that his adopted son could kill the young man in front of him after using some tricks. As for his adopted son, even if he does encounter a crisis, he can save him in an instant with his methods. Take your life. Moyi was quite conceited, his eyes were cold, and the murderous aura around him swept through the air. As the divine son of the Assassin dynasty, if nothing unexpected happens, he will become the palace master of the Assassin dynasty. However, due to the appearance of Qin Feng, their killer dynasty was reduced to ruins, and the losses were really heavy. The most important thing is that without the Assassin dynasty, his family's weight in Xiankong state will no longer be important. If he wants to rise to power again in the future, it will be extremely difficult. Are you worthy? Qin Feng's fiery eyes stared at the flying young man, secretly surprised in his heart. Divine patterns surged around Mo Yi, who looked quite extraordinary. His cultivation level was at the 4th level of a king, and his power was earth-shattering. While Mo Yun was talking, the king's runes surged around his body, turning into a golden light and killing Qin Feng. At this moment, a dazzling sword light swept through the sky and the earth, wrapped in endless king runes, which was extremely dazzling. As the divine son of the killer dynasty, Mo Yi is naturally quite extraordinary. His power is so powerful that his sword energy surges into the sky, overwhelming Qin Feng. Qin Feng was happy and fearless. He roared loudly, and the Feudo God King's mask fell on him. He stood in the 9 Forbidden Realm, and his fighting will was soaring. Crack! The sword energy was in the air. Qin Feng's sword energy collided with Mo Yi's sword energy, the two were entangled with each other, and divine power swept across the sky. It has to be said that Mo Yi is a genius. As the son of the killer dynasty, he once stepped on the corpses of many quasi-gods before he reached his current status. Although his cultivation is not the strongest in the killer divine dynasty, his aptitude is rare in the world, otherwise he would not be able to become the first among the sons of God. Swish, swish, swish. The two were in Cancan's hands. They were both geniuses, and their power was unparalleled, far exceeding some of the older generation. Mo Yi was quite conceited, and he didn't take Qin Feng seriously at all. Although he had heard some rumors about Qin Feng when he was in the killer divine dynasty, in his opinion, although Qin Feng was the son of the ancient Holy Land, he was far less powerful than himself. Although Qin Feng killed the 9 guardians, the news had not yet reached his ears. As for the palace master Mo Zone, he didn't know what happened at the headquarters. When he heard the news that the 2 holy places were going to destroy the killer divine dynasty, he recalled the foundation of the divine dynasty and opened the divine dynasty's protective formation. In his opinion, this had already been invincible, so he didn't believe that the 2 holy places would burn his killer divine dynasty. However, when he came back from Xiankong province, he heard the news that the Assassin dynasty was completely destroyed, which instantly made him furious. The Assassin dynasty, which has existed in the world for a long time, has the ancient heritage of Xiankong province as its backing, and the mountain protection formation is inherited from Xiankongzhou. How could it be broken? However, the facts exceeded his expectations. Qin Feng, who had the blessing of the system, easily broke the formation and destroyed the dynasty. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 878. Therefore, Mo Zone did not know Qin Feng's record, so he dared to let his adopted son Mo Yi take action. Mo Yi, the son of the Assassin dynasty, had a cold look in his eyes. He felt the majestic power in Qin Feng's body and found it quite incredible. Although he had heard rumors about Qin Feng, it was not until the actual fight that he discovered that the opponent was indeed so powerful that it was unbelievable. This made Mo Yi's heart skip a beat. He stared at Qin Feng and said, "Are you that Qin Feng?" Good. Qin Feng's black hair was flying. He stared at Mo Yi, and powerful divine power spread around him, and the void resonated with it. Are you also from the divine dynasty? Qin Feng said coldly that he didn't have any good impressions of the people from the killer dynasty. He would kill every evil person he saw. Yes, I am Moyi, the divine son of the assassin dynasty. You and I, the divine dynasty. After polishing his soldiers, he was interrupted by Qin Feng before he finished speaking. Even if you are a member of the divine dynasty, there is nothing to say. After Qin Feng finished speaking, he slashed forward with a sword in his hand. The splendid sword light resonated with the heaven and earth, and the terrifying attack power made the small world tremble with incomparable power and terror. Brush. Moyi immediately changed his color. He felt that Qin Feng's sword had an unshakable intimidation. He immediately stepped back. At the same time, Moyi waved the killing sword in his hand to fight. He did not expect Qin Feng to attack so forcefully. This man was indeed quite conceited. Kaka. The sound of cracking weapons was heard, and the killing sword Moyi held shattered on the spot in the void, turning into fragments of fairy gold. This scene made the son of God of the divine dynasty change his color immediately. The fairy sword in Qin Feng's hand was really terrifying. He had only seen a magic weapon of this level in Xiankong state. Kill! Moyi roared, and the fragments of the broken fairy sword flowed with brilliant divine light in the void. Under his control, the king's rune penetrated towards Qin Feng cave, causing ripples to appear in the void. The energy between the two people was intertwined all over the sky, the divine power was surging like the vast sea, and the brilliant light made the void riot. The powerful men in the two holy places were all secretly frightened. The son of God of the Killer God dynasty was really terrifying. The other party actually blocked Qin Feng's attack, which shocked them. You know, even the 9 guardians of the Killer dynasty are no match for Qin Feng, and the young man in front of him can actually be evenly matched with Qin Feng, which is really extraordinary. In fact, this was not the case. At this time, Qin Feng did not use his trump card against the son of God of the Killer God dynasty. He just stood in the 9 forbidden realm. In his opinion, his 9 forbidden combat power is enough to fight against the Killer dynasty. The magic is easy. The same is true. Although the divine son of the assassin dynasty is extremely extraordinary, it is still far from being comparable to the 9 guardians of the assassin dynasty. Although Qin Feng used the Kaishan divine axe when he destroyed the 9 guardians of the Killer dynasty, he also killed 3 guardians when he did not use the Kaishan divine axe. With his own fighting power alone, he also has the strength to kill the 8th grade strong man, not to mention the mere 4th grade magic yi in front of him. Swipe. The small secret realm was trembling. Qin Feng and Moyi had a duel in the void. Their divine powers were intertwined, and the king's runes rolled all over the sky, shaking the entire secret realm. The secret realm is filled with lines one after another, blessing the space laws of the secret realm. Otherwise, under the terrifying confrontation between the two, the mountains, rivers and earth will probably be completely destroyed. But even so, a low mountain near them collapsed into ruins during their duel. The demon sect, the master of the assassin dynasty in the distance, was secretly frightened. Only after his adopted son and Qin Feng had a real confrontation did he feel that he had underestimated the other party. The combat power displayed by Qin Feng at this moment is comparable to the power in the realm of kings, and has surpassed some of the elders and powerful men in Dongzhou. Yeer, don't be careless. Mo Zong sent a message to Mo Yi, and at the same time he sent a message to Mo Yi's Taoist companions to kill Qin Feng with Mo Yi at the critical moment. Killing sword domain. At this time, Mo Yi shouted low. With the blessing of the domain, his momentum was rising steadily. The superposition of power dozens of times made him extremely terrifying. But even so, Mo Yi found that Qin Feng's aura was also soaring. He was so frightened by the opponent's fighting power. The opponent's qualifications were so terrifying that he couldn't believe it. Buzz. At this moment, Qin Feng felt that the female monk who had just come with Mo Yi was exuding endless murderous intent. Her cultivation level was even worse than Mo Yi's. Why can't you calm down? Why don't the goddesses take action together? Qin Feng shouted coldly during the battle. He knew that the enemy in front of him was the Son of God, so the woman who came with the Son of God was probably the goddess. I alone can kill you. Mo Yi was quite surprised. Qin Feng did not take him seriously at all. This was really looking down on him. You can't do it alone. Qin Feng smiled coldly. He did not move and covered his body with the God King's light shield. Although the opponent's power was extraordinary, it was far from as powerful as the protector. Qi. As Qin Feng's words fell, he no longer held back, but directly took action with all his strength. Since the other party is so confident, then he will directly destroy the other party's confidence. In an instant, Qin Feng activated the critical stone. With 200 times the energy blessing, his combat effectiveness suddenly stood at the top. Qi La. The Six Paths Immortal Sword only used an ordinary sword technique, and it directly split the void. The terrible murderous aura tore the world apart, and it suddenly became 200 times stronger. How is it possible? At this moment, Mo Yi was shocked. Qin Feng's sword was more than 200 times more powerful than the previous one, and he couldn't stop it at all. In an instant, Mo Yi was blessed by the domain dozens of times, and the aura sword and enveloped his body, but even so, he felt endless despair. Puff. Qin Feng's Six Paths Immortal Sword directly tore the void, and chopped off Mo Yi's head on the spot, and blood gushed out, dyeing the sky red. This scene was really amazing. Qin Feng's terrible power rose to the extreme, and he easily chopped off Mo Yi's head. Not far away, even the goddess who was just about to take action, that is, Mo Yi's Taoist partner Kong Ying, was full of unbelievable eyes. Mo Yi was extremely powerful, and his talent was even more amazing. Even she, the noble lady of the previous session, recognized Mo Yi. Mo Yi had extraordinary talent, and his fourth-grade realm of the Great King had long been at the forefront of young people. Even some of the geniuses of the previous session could not compare with him, but he was killed just like that, which was really hard for Kong Ying to understand. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 879. This scene was too shocking. Qin Feng cut off Mo Yi's head with one knife. It was too fast. Mo Yi. Kong Ying shouted. As Mo Yi, she naturally couldn't watch Mo Yi die. Mo Yi's qualifications were quite extraordinary and they valued him very much. Moreover, Mo Yi had been designated as a son-in-law by their clansmen. If he died like this, it would make her, a noble lady, a laughing stock. Swish. Kong Ying's steps were mysterious at the first moment. She came to Qin Feng's vicinity. A strong wind surged on her body and she suddenly swung out a palm. Boom. This palm, which faintly contained the sound of wind and thunder, made Qin Feng's heart condense. His palm and sword intertwined the moon and the sun, and he blasted Kong Ying. A violent energy storm surged between the two, tearing the sky and the earth. Taking advantage of this momentary gap, Mo Yi's head and body were directly taken out by the palace master Mo Zone. OM1. At this moment, endless divine flames flowed from Mo Yi's body. His chopped off head combined with his body, and his blood began to interweave, surging between heaven and earth like a big dragon. When one's cultivation reaches the realm of the king, he can regenerate broken limbs. Even if his head is chopped off, he can recover as long as the time is not too long. Boy, you have completely angered me, I want you to die. At this moment, Mo Yi's black hair was flying. Just now, when his head closed, the secret power flowing on it was cut off by his adoptive father Mo Zone. Otherwise, he would have been swallowed by the secret of Qin Feng's Six Paths Immortal Sword. Yer, this is for you. At this time, a piece of jade flew up from the body of the Hall Master Mo Zone, and instantly fell on Mo Yi's body, turning into a set of armor, flowing with a palpitating breath. "Thank you, foster father." Moe was shocked when he saw this scene. He didn't expect that the temple would leave him the treasured armor that he had cultivated with his life. He was very flattered. This jade armor is a top-grade treasure armor for Earth immortals. The king rune contained in it can not only bless cultivation, but also has extremely strong defense. Buzz. As Moe poured divine power and activated the king rune, the armor instantly wrapped his whole body, even his belt was protected. "You too, kill him, don't destroy the reputation of my killer dynasty." Mozong stood in the world, his hair was dancing wildly, and a very terrifying light flowed around him. His apprentice's head was cut off with a knife just now, which made him very unhappy. In addition to shock, there was also an amazing murderous aura in his eyes. Moe was the son of God he carefully cultivated. The other party was very young, but he defeated the invincible opponent in the world. But at this moment, he was defeated by a young man, which made his heart fluctuate. Yes. After obtaining the protective armor of the demon sect, Moe was quite confident. With the protection of this armor, he was naturally invincible. He did not think that Qin Feng had the means to break the upper grade armor of the Earth Immortal. With this armor, his combat power would soar, which made him excited in addition to being shocked. The Palace Master, the demon sect, passed on the armor to him, which represented a considerable recognition of him. Swish. At this moment, Moe moved his body, and in the blink of an eye, he stood with Kong Ying. The two looked at each other, their eyes full of fanaticism. For the two of them, Qin Feng's combat power made their blood soar. The opponent was ridiculously strong, which made them feel that they had a huge challenge. Because once the two of them merged, there has never been a younger generation who could be their opponent. Finally can't hold back. Qin Feng was quite calm. With the blessing of the critical stone, his power increased by 200 times, and Moe certainly couldn't stop him. However, Qin Feng was surprised that the demon sect could destroy the secret power of the Six Paths Immortal Sword. This was enough to show that the means of the Holy Spirit realm were quite amazing. Otherwise, it would be impossible for an ordinary king to survive Qin Feng's sword without hurting himself. Kill. Die. Kong Ying and Moe joined forces. Their speed was too fast. As soon as they moved, there was an explosion in the void. Under the blessing of the killing field, the power of the two was superimposed by dozens of times, and the secret realm was trembling. As the goddess and son of the killer dynasty, the two were all proficient in assassination. They were one with the void. When they appeared, they came behind Qin Feng. It was not until the moment when the two took action that the killing swords in their hands burst out with amazing murderous aura. Dang! Two earth-shaking sounds came, and people were surprised to find that the moment the two killing swords fell, they were blocked by the protective light shield of Qin Feng's flesh. At this moment, the two swords trembled 3 feet in front of Qin Feng, as if they were under great pressure. Such a scene made the monks of the two holy places breathe a sigh of relief. The two great geniuses of the killer divine dynasty joined forces, and although their power was stronger, they still failed to break Qin Feng's defense myth, which made them feel much more at ease. And the eyes of the demon sect flowed with brilliant golden light. He stared at Qin Feng's figure, and the murderous aura around him was intertwined. The reason why he threw the armor to Moe was that on the one hand, he didn't want Moe to lose his life, and on the other hand, he wanted the other party to draw out all the combat power of Qin Feng. Because, just when Qin Feng and Moe were fighting, he found that Qin Feng's terrible energy far exceeded the limit that ordinary kings could use. He was quite suspicious that the death of the 9 guardians of the divine dynasty might not be caused by the foundation of the two holy places. He suspected that the young cultivator in front of him was very likely the real murderer who killed the 9 guardians. Once this was true, he would have to re-evaluate his current situation. If this young man really had the energy to kill the 9 guardians, even he, a strong man of the Holy Spirit level, would have to act carefully. Because among the 9 guardians, some of them had reached the level of 9th grade kings. And a strong man of the Holy Spirit level like him could only use the 9th grade divine power in Dongzhou. If the guess was true, then he, the Holy Spirit, could not act recklessly. Otherwise, if he was not careful, he would most likely fall in this secret realm and become the topic of conversation among the creatures of Xuankangsu. Back then, some of the strong men in Xiankong state became laughing stocks for a while after they fell in the conquest of Dongzhou. They were talked about by countless people and laughed their heads off. Qi La. Qin Feng moved his body, and the 6 immortal swords swept across the void on the spot. The terrible blade light instantly slashed towards the son and daughter of the killer dynasty. At this moment, auspicious clouds flowed behind Qing Feng, and then 2 loud noises came. Both of them flew out and spit out a mouthful of blood. 1. Window. Tabula equals window. Tabula. Tabula.push, mode, thumbs feed -01, container, tabula below article thumbnail -300x250, placement, below article thumbnail -300x250, target. Type, mix. Invincible Scratch Lottery System. Author, Xiankong Fashi. Chapter 880. The Lord of the Killer Dynasty, Amozone, was extremely shocked. The 2 great geniuses were knocked away, which made him extremely horrified. You know, the goddess and the son of God are the heirs carefully cultivated by the killer dynasty. They are all outstanding people, and are rare geniuses. However, it is unbelievable that such outstanding people who have been selected layer by layer were easily knocked away. The goddess Kongying was even more shocked. She was the descendant of the ancient clan of Xuankangsu, and she was knocked away at this moment. How could she accept it? She was the goddess of the ancient clan in order to control the dynasty. She controlled Moyi, and she also controlled the future killer dynasty. Now, the killer dynasty was not only destroyed, but even the Son of God seemed to be defeated. This is simply shocking. Swish. Qin Feng knocked the 2 people away. He took advantage of the victory and pursued them. He stepped on the thunder and swept across the sky. With a Qi La sound, the void was cut open, and this killer secret realm emitted a violent energy fluctuation, with unparalleled power. Moyi and Kongying changed color, and they hurriedly blocked with the killing swords in their hands. The terrifying sword light barely blocked Qin Feng's blade light, and they jumped out. At this moment, the 2 people's faces were cold, with blood on the corners of their mouths, and they all looked at Qin Feng in front of them in horror, with incredible colors in their eyes. Boom! Qin Feng made another move, and the vision of the immortal king soared into the sky. There was endless energy mist surging around him, and a huge immortal king appeared to suppress the world. The 6 immortal swords crossed the sky, and under the blessing of the critical stone, the huge sword light swept across the sky, domineering to the extreme. The 2 people who had just stabilized their bodies trembled, and they looked at the immortal sword that was getting bigger and bigger in front of them, and they were terrified to the extreme. At this moment, they found that their bodies were locked, and they couldn't avoid this knife at all. The 2 men pushed their physical energy to the extreme, and they even fully revived the armor they were wearing in order to block the knife. Crack! Crack! However, their defense and armor were completely inadequate in front of the immortal king's sword. In just a moment, the sword and the armor were all shattered, and they could not block the slightest bit. Puff! The immortal king's sword slashed through their bodies, cutting them directly in half between heaven and earth. Ah! Red blood was flying, and the terrified screams were heard far away, making people's scalps numb. Godfather, save me! Moyi and Kongying shouted. They dragged their broken bodies to escape, hoping that the demon sect would save them. However, after seeing this scene, the demon sect was already extremely frightened, and he dared not save the two. The power displayed by Qin Feng really had the strength to wipe out the 9th grade king, which made him hairy all over. The young man in front of him was only in the 8th level of the feudal lords, but he exuded a terrifying and powerful aura. Swoosh! In the first moment, the demon sect fled to the distance, and Mo Yi and Kong Ying behind him were all stunned. The lord of the Killer Divine Dynasty, a strong man in the Holy Spirit realm, actually fled at this moment, which made them unacceptable. After just a moment of pause, Qin Feng's body began to flow with fairy fire, completely burning the two into ashes. Where are you going? Qin Feng's eyes turned cold. He saw the demon sect fleeing to the distance, and he stepped on the thunder walk technique and chased after him in an instant. Swish, swish, swish. In a few flashes, Qin Feng caught up with the figure of the demon section with the blessing of the critical stone. He stopped the figure of the demon sect. Don't leave anyone. With Qin Feng waving his hand, the masters of the Suzaku Holy Land and the Qin Lord Holy Land began to settle the living forces of the Divine Dynasty in the secret realm. Boy, although you killed Mo Yi and Kong Ying, you are still far from my opponent. I advise you not to make mistakes. Mo Zong's words were full of powerful momentum, but his voice was slightly trembling. In this secret realm, he could only use the strength of the 9th level of the Great Accomplishment King, which made him extremely unsure. Really? How about this? After Qin Feng's voice fell, he raised his hand, and hundreds of thousands of super cultivation pills appeared, densely packed and dazzling to the extreme. At this moment, tens of millions of super cultivation pills were suspended around Qin Feng, and these pills were like stars in circulation. The vast ocean of energy was refined by his immortal king vision, turned into a surging river, and poured into Qin Feng's body. In just a breath of time, Qin Feng stood in the 9th heaven of the princes. However, things were far from over. The spiritual energy in his body continued to increase. After he refined a chalcedony, he broke through the last layer of window paper and became a great king. At this moment, Qin Feng, under the reflection of auspicious clouds and the vision of the immortal king, soared into the sky. He just moved his body and distorted the void. King runes were engraved around him. He stood in the forbidden field of the gods and triggered the critical stone. He was extremely sacred. Impossible. The face of the master of the Assassin's Divine Dynasty, the demon sect, changed drastically. He clearly felt that Qin Feng actually stood directly in the 1st grade king field. Such a scene made him unacceptable. You know, when Qin Feng was in the realm of princes, he had the strength to crush the 9th grade king. Now that he stood in the realm of the king, his power would be even more unmatched. Why don't you have the king's heavenly tribulation? The master was hairy all over. This scene really shocked him. It's very simple, because I'm already in the realm of princes, I have passed the king level. Qin Feng showed a sneer on his face. The next moment, he stepped on the thunder and appeared above the lord of the Assassin dynasty. At this moment, the demon sect tried its best to stop him. Although he was powerful to a terrifying extent, he could not exert his full strength in this assassin's secret realm. But Qin Feng had no such scruples. With the blessing of various powerful fields, he stood at the top of the strongest. 6 paths of reincarnation. Qin Feng said lightly, and he performed the 6 paths of reincarnation. The terrible pressure swept across the sky. Boom! The world was shaking, and 6 black holes appeared in the secret realm, directly swallowing up the demon sect, not even stopping the bone residue. Hiss! Impossible! The rest of the assassins in the secret realm were all dumbfounded. They felt cold on their backs. The lord of the assassin dynasty was swallowed up like this, which made them panic. Without the presence of the lord of the killer divine dynasty, they could no longer resist. Without any accidents, they were all destroyed by the strong men of the 2 holy places. Soon after, Qin Feng and his men came to the deepest part of the secret realm, which was the gateway to the Xiankong state. However, for Qin Feng, there was no need to go to the Xiankong state. Moreover, if the people of the Xiankong state wanted to go down to the realm, they would be suppressed and would not pose any threat to him at all. He arranged it here and cast a more terrifying ban. Once a strong man jumped over the realm, he would be killed. Soon, the two holy places and Qin Feng and his men plundered all the treasures in the secret realm. At this point, the killer divine dynasty was completely destroyed and became a ruin. The divine dynasty collapsed. Soon after, Qin Feng returned to Kandi city. He brought Zhou Qing Yeqing Cheng, Shang Qian, Zuk and others back to Suanwu city in Dongzhou. Father and mother, I'm back. End of the full text.